Hey everybody, Jason Davis here. Davis up front on Compass Football, a World Cup special on a Monday. So we've reached that moment at the World Cup, that moment when the group stage hits the final match day. Simultaneous kickoffs make it nearly impossible to watch, analyze, and tweet. If you're a social media person and you're trying to tweet and you're trying to watch the game, it can just be a lot. But it's also so glorious. It's the World Cup. We love it. We're getting down to the dramatic part of the tournament as we get ready for the knockout rounds, setting those knockout rounds up with the final group stage matches. So we have Group A and B to review today on a Monday at the World Cup in Russia. So much to talk about. We will start in Group A with the two teams we know are going through, Uruguay and Russia. The Uruguayans putting a hurt on Russia, 3-0 victory. The Russians had scored 8 goals in their first 2 matches. Lots of joy in the country around the performance by the home team. And the dose of reality comes as early as the 10th minute when Luis Suarez steps up to a free kick. The wall gets set. For whatever reason, Ignashevich of Russia shoves Cavani and Cáceres out of the way, and leading to a goal for Luis Suarez, just banging it past Igor Akinfeev. I'm not sure that Akinfeev played that exactly right, jumping in the air before the ball was struck. If you go back and look at the video and the still images from that moment, you can see that Akinfeev is actually up in the air when Luis Suarez strikes the ball. Russia down to 10 men in this 36th minute. Silly challenge from Igor Smolnikov after he already had a yellow, picks up another one, and he leaves before halftime. Uruguay saw it out. Edison Cavani getting on the score sheet with a 90th minute goal. A nice bit of confidence for Uruguay and Cavani going into the knockout round, where they'll face the second place team in Group B. We'll come to that in a second. Russia will get the first place team in Group B by virtue of finishing second in the group. But there was another game in Group A. We got to do it justice. Saudi Arabia versus Egypt, a 2-1 win for the Saudi Arabians over the Egyptians. Started out well for Egypt at a goal from Mo Salah in the 22nd minute. He didn't seem to want to celebrate it. Very subdued performance, celebration from Mo Salah, perhaps feeling the burden of all of the drama around his appearance with the strongman leader of Chechnya and some of the political elements. Reports ahead of the game that Salah was actually considering international retirement because of all of that stuff. Who knows if it will happen? It would be a sad day for Egypt. He did get his second goal in the tournament. He also missed a very good chance later on in the game. The highlight for Egypt turned out to be 45-year-old goalkeeper Assam El Hadari, the oldest player to ever to appear in a World Cup, making an incredible penalty save on the Saudis. A nice little moment there for El Hadari. There was a questionable penalty given to Saudi Arabia, VAR coming into play. The decision upheld, converted by Salman Al-Faraj. Not necessarily the best moment for VAR. It was a very questionable penalty. Saudi Arabia then went on and got the winner in the 90th minute from Salem Al-Dawsari. A fantastic goal from Dawsari in that moment to give the Saudis a victory. Again, Uruguay tops, Russia second, Saudis ahead of Egypt, who finished last in the group. Over in Group B, and this is where there was so much drama, didn't exactly know how this was going to play out. 3 teams still alive. The only team eliminated already is Morocco. So, with that said, Iran had a chance to do something, maybe upset Portugal, get themselves into the knockout rounds. They go up against the Portuguese team, just trying to hold on maybe in this situation. Iran playing about as well as you could expect in the situation. They do fall behind on a goal from Ricardo Quaresma just at the end of the first half. Quaresma with a trivela, his outside of the right foot shot. He is so famous for. It put Portugal up a goal. In the second half, a chance for Portugal to double the lead when Cristiano Ronaldo went down in the box. VAR. Are we going with VAR or VAR? Going with VAR myself. In that situation, VAR review gave Cristiano Ronaldo the penalty. It seemed pretty clear-cut, but then that penalty was saved. Iranian keeper Ali Reza Barenvand steps up and makes the save, and Ronaldo none too happy with his performance on the day. Controversy came late in the match when referee Enrique Cáceres gave Ronaldo a yellow card rather than a red for an elbow to an opponent's head. If there was a foul there, it seems pretty clear it should be a red card. It's either no foul and no card or a red card. Did Ronaldo get the benefit of the doubt because he's a star? Certainly there's been some people who thinking that after the match. Iran leveled the game in added time when VAR determined that there was a handball in the box by the Portuguese. So Portugal looked like they might jump into first place in the group. They end up with a single point. Meanwhile, at Kaliningrad Stadium, Spain facing off against Morocco. Same time. It's all happening at the same time. Very difficult to follow in some cases. Certainly the colors didn't help. All these teams, red and white on both sides. Anyway, Morocco took a surprise lead on a Khalid Boutaib counterattack goal in the 14th minute. Fantastically well-taken goal from the Moroccans. They're just playing for pride here. Iniesta sets up Isco for an equalizer in the 19th minute. Lovely, typical, classic Spanish goal. Morocco getting another goal, a set-piece goal, a corner kick goal, header from Youssef El Naisiri. Fantastically taken, puts Morocco up. Then Iago Aspas. In the first minute of added time, Morocco got past the 90th minute. They thought they might be able to hold on for the victory. Then Iago Aspas scores. Looked like he might be offside. VAR determined he was not. It seemed like the right call based on what we saw on television, but Morocco none too happy about it. The man who made headlines for suggesting that American referee Mark Geiger had asked Pepe for his jersey during the Morocco-Portugal game, Amrabat, comes out with his suggestion that or is caught on camera making the VAR box symbol and then mouthing a naughty word for it. Didn't seem like a fan, Amrabat. So there you have it. Morocco falling, or rather finishing 2-2 with Spain after having a chance at a shock victory. So here's what it all means. Spain, they win Group B. They win Group B by virtue of a goal-scored tiebreaker against Portugal. They have more goals in the tournament so far. Spain will face Russia in the round of 16. That's 1B versus 2A, while Portugal will face Uruguay, top team in Group A versus second team in Group B. Rather tasty, that one, although who's going to take the initiative is maybe a question. Now, lots of questions around Cristiano Ronaldo's performance today. Did he bottle that game? Did he throw up a dud when his team needed him? Seems unfair, perhaps, to level that at Ronaldo, considering all he's done to help Portugal get to this place in the tournament so far. Without him, there is no Portugal in the round of 16. It's just not a thing. Now, let's talk about Tuesday. Can Tuesday top what we saw on Monday? So we've got simultaneous kickoffs in Group C, of course. That's France, Denmark, Australia, and Peru. The Aussies facing off against Peru, already eliminated. Denmark facing off against France. Here are your scenarios. France is through if they win or draw their match in this final day against Denmark. Denmark can jump into first place if they beat the French. Australia, their only hope here to sneak in is to get a win over Peru, and if Denmark loses and the Socceroos overturn a 2-goal difference, they can pip Denmark for the second spot in the group. So they need Denmark to lose. They need France to take care of business there, and they have to beat Peru by a big enough score line to make up that 2-goal difference. All right, what about Group D? Second batch of games tomorrow. This is where all eyes will be on Argentina, Lionel Messi, Jorge Sampaoli, everything happening there for La Albiceleste. They'll be taking on Nigeria, while Croatia faces off against Iceland. Croatia is through and will win the group with a win or a draw against Iceland. Nigeria, who's on 3 points, will get their spot in the last 16 with a victory over Argentina. Now, Argentina is at the bottom of the group with 1 point, tied with Iceland. Of course, we know that Argentina needs to beat Nigeria while hoping that Iceland lose or draw with Croatia. If Iceland and Argentina both win to move to 4 points, so Iceland beating Croatia, Argentina beating Nigeria, then there will be a goal difference situation there. And we'll talk about further tiebreakers when we get to that moment. It gets a little complicated. So that's your setup for Tuesday at the World Cup. Should be very, very interesting. Later on, we get Switzerland back in the tournament. They'll be going into their final match day, and it looks like they will indeed have two of their stars, Granit Xhaka and Xherdan Shaqiri, both of those players making political gestures, if you will, the Albanian flag a double-headed eagle, a reference to their homeland in Kosovo, their families having left that country for Switzerland when they were children, the ties there. Of course, Shaqiri has been very out with his pride for Kosovo. Serbia in that match but against Switzerland, none too happy with those displays, and they lodged a complaint with FIFA. Here's what FIFA has done. The Swiss players, Granit Xhaka, Xherdan Shaqiri, and Stefan Lichtsteiner have been sanctioned with fines of 10,000 Swiss francs, 10,000 Swiss francs, and 5,000 Swiss francs, respectively, and warnings for having infringed Article 57 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code for unsporting behavior contrary to the principles of fair play during their goal celebrations at the match between Switzerland and Serbia. Now, the other end of this is that the Serbs actually were sanctioned as well and got some fines for the way things went down after the match, some words being said. So, FIFA not going as far as to suspend Xhaka and Shaqiri. That's a big relief for the Swiss, and we'll have to see if there is any further fallout from this situation. This is not an easy situation for anybody involved because of the politics. You don't want to see players removed from a World Cup like Shaqiri and Xhaka when their team is getting ready to go into the round of 16, and yet if you make these sort of gestures, I mean, certainly the politics of it are very complicated, and it's hard to deny that Xhaka and Shaqiri were being provocative with those gestures. Now, one of the other big talking points of the day, the final day in Group 3 at the World Cup, or the third match day at the World Cup on a Monday, and we haven't even gotten to the rest of the third match days for these groups, is for everybody after Groups A and B, is VAR. Just so much VAR, and as I have said many, many times in this forum and in others, the problem with VAR is it simply moves the decision-making process from on the field by the center referee to a booth and then back down where a center referee has to just look at the call he already made. Now, in some cases, it will get things right that were called wrong on the field, but in many cases, we're simply asking a referee to make a subjective decision on a subjective decision. He's already made one. We're just extending the process, and now we're adding a delay to the game. VAR was not everyone's friend on Monday. We shall see what happens on Tuesday. Now, elsewhere at the World Cup, we know that Paul Pogba is the kind of player that gets people very excited with his play, certainly his outward persona, the way he acts on the field, off the field, his joie de vivre, if you will, if I can butcher some French here. This is Paul Pogba. When asked about his haircut by the French media ahead of the next match for France at the World Cup, Pogba, who flew his barber from London to the World Cup in Russia so that all the French players could get their hair done, which I think is a lovely gesture on Pogba's part, said this: "I think it is a French or European mentality. Apparently you are not allowed to have a hairstyle and play football. I do not really understand. You only have to talk of the negative. When I dance and score, I hear nobody. When I dance and we lose, then it is a problem. It is fine though. I will continue, despite the critics. You say I am a showman, but I am just me. Take me as I am. I smile. I will always smile in front of you, with or without the criticisms and praise. I will always be the same. That is what makes me La Pioche," a nickname that Pogba carries, and Paul. Paul Pogba making a statement at the World Cup. Numerous statements here. We'll see if he can lead France to glory, this incredibly talented French team with high expectations for the rest of the tournament. All right, let's wrap up this World Cup edition of Davis Up Front on a Monday with a very nice thought from one Yoko Ono, world-famous musician, formerly the partner of John Lennon, who was tragically taken from us so many years ago. Yoko Ono. Twitter. I didn't know Yoko Ono was on Twitter. Of course she would be. This is what she had to say. "Who will win the World Cup? A child who believes in a peaceful world." I'm not sure exactly what that means. I don't think by believing in a peaceful world, a child is going to receive a World Cup. It's obviously not meant to be literal. And Yoko Ono is a poet. She's giving us poetry here on a Monday at the World Cup. That's going to finish it up for us. Make sure you follow, like, hit us up on Twitter, at Compass Football, on Facebook, on YouTube. I'm at DavisJSN. All right, that's going to do it for a Monday. Let's get out of here. When we see you again, we'll be talking about more drama at the World Cup, whether it's the kind on the field or the kind off of it.